brings his ship into Wellspring's docking ring, you notice a rare tension in Serafin's piloting. He jerks the stick a little too hard while the docking bridge extends, and a proximity alarm goes off. He curses under his breath. Relax, it'll be okay. I've docked this ship 100 times, sleeper. He keeps his eyes on the monitors. I am relaxed. That's not what I meant. Serafin doesn't respond, but you see him grip the rig's control a little tighter. As the ship stops, the docking bridge connected, you lean forward and look out of the cockpit windows, trying to get a good view of the icy surface of Wellspring below. The harsh, gleaming ice gives way to the steep sides of the cut, the asteroid's one city. It glows and steams with warmth, and peering down into it, you cannot see the bottom. Beyond, along with the horizon, you see the terraces of the pit head, where the current extraction effort must be taking place. Serafin runs the shutdown sequence, and unclips from his seat. He turns back to you, a flinty look in his eye. I'm going to head down to the cut. I've got a few leads to follow up on. You get the sense he isn't asking for permission. Let me help. You can check out the city if you want, but I'm not following along, sir. This is my trail to follow. Before you can respond, he pushes past and glides out of the cockpit. You turn and watch as he pushes past Bliss in the doorway. I missed something? Bliss shoots you a look. He seems even more irritable than usual. He's looking for his sister. Family trouble. That'll explain the irritation levels. I would recommend they zip up their jacket. We go after him before he pushes past someone that pushes back. Agree. See you down there. At least Lane's unlikely to come out here to pick a fight with the Lodex Syndicate. Bliss shrugs. They turn and head towards the airlock, whistling softly as they do. Eugene comes out of the side door as Bliss passes. He stretches and squints at you. Permission to find a bar down there? He grins. Just joking. I know I don't need to ask. He winks and follows Bliss. Wellspring, the base of the Lodex Syndicate. As you look out across the icy surface, you remember Malik, the captain whose ship you saved, and for whom you survived the ice asteroid. You also remember how he promised to repay you for your actions, should you ever cross paths again. Perhaps Wellspring is a good place for you to make that happen. Perhaps it is. After all, if Serafin's sister is here, surely the Lodex Syndicate would be the best place to find her. Uy, qué sitio más chulo. Oy, 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 pero cuánto. Pero bueno. Vale, tenemos The Cut y tenemos la ciudad, The Pithead. Hoy quedados más chulos. Ha ido hacia el Cut, así que vamos a seguirlo. Vamos a tener que pasar de este a Tlacaloco. No vamos a poder hacer eso. Pero podemos hackear, aunque es danger. Así que vamos a mirar la ciudad, ¿no? ¿Y qué nos ofrece? Lotic Pass, así que no se entra tan fácilmente. Muy bien, vamos a explorar. Hora de hackear a ver qué nos aparece por aquí. New location. You have to keep moving for fear of being caught. The Cutwater, un bar. Vamos a ver. Cutwater Shift. Bueno, no es un primer trabajo muy útil para nosotros. Vamos a seguir. Ole, new location. Lotic Depot. ¡Uy, qué bien! ¡Qué baratito! ¡Uy, qué bien! Vamos a llenarnos todo el fuel ahora mismo. Depot Shift. Entiendo. Me guardaré un dado para eso. Pero vamos a usar nuestro último dado aquí. Y a ver qué encontramos. Amazing to think this place supplies most of the belt's water. Bliss looks across the Cutwater at the workers in the distinctive yellow gear. No wonder the syndicate runs it like a corporation. You look at those gathered in the low-ceilinged bar, gathered around cushioned couches and low magnetic tables, their voices bouncing off the metal walls. All of them wear Lodex clothing, a mark of their status as contractors for the belt's most powerful syndicate. At the far side of the bar, you spot Eugene, perched at a magnetic table with a bunch of miners. He appears to be playing some kind of local dice game, although given the amount of alcohol involved, it's hard to tell if gambling or drinking is a focus. You look back to Bliss, who is watching another group quietly discussing something serious in the opposite corner. I mean, quiero decir, ¿están dando agua a todo el mundo y no son una corporación? ¿Por qué no? Bliss turns back to the bar and sips their drink through the metal straw. Well, that's the thing. I've been looking around Chasm Row, searching out components in the market. Down there, people don't seem so happy. O sea que sí que son una corporación. There's a lot of talk of contracts. Seems Lodex been locking down its workers, giving the war on the inner system as an excuse. qué cabrones. Iba a decir típico small business. Bueno, small business no, pero en fin, business. They pay with a metal straw, swirling the orbs of liquid in their steel glass. The pressure is building, sleeper. We shouldn't hang around here much longer. The problem is we have no pilot. Well, Bliss raised an eyebrow. It sounds like I'm not the only outsider who's been hanging out in Chasm Row. I heard someone complaining about a rude young man asking too many questions. Bliss smiles. Who else could that be? They laugh. That's the place to start if they want to find our boy. They said he was asking about the Rhyme Market, but I have no idea what that is. Bliss looks out across the bar. Definitely a touchy subject for locals, though. I'll head there now. Bliss nods. I'll finish my drink. They smile. Let me know how it goes. You look at Cutwater, shouldering your way through a crowd of boisterous contractors. There is a conspiratorial mood to the conversations, now that Bliss has mentioned it, and you wonder what all the talk is about. You hear a bellowing laugh from Eugene as you slip out of the door. Better lean into it. You feel the sudden cold as you leave the steaming bar and enter one of the icy passages cut into the asteroid himself. All this water in the hands of a single syndicate. If something goes wrong here, the belt will die of thirst long before the war reaches it. You turn up the collar of your jacket against the cold and head for Chasm Row. Sí, realmente es una causa demasiado importante como para dársela a una sola institución, pero a la vez supongo que se han organizado así por interés de todo el mundo. Vale, aquí tenemos las supplies y para encontrar el mercado. Vamos a hacer un curro en el depot para ganar un poco de dinero porque se nos van a joder los dados pronto, si no me equivoco. Tenemos materiales para repararlos, estos, pero no me interesa mucho usarlos demasiado. Y como se me jodan 3 de golpe, tendré que volver para donde estábamos al inicio. Vale, neutral 8. Me guardo el de este y vamos a usarlo aquí. No, voy a usarlo en el curro. 13 de crío, razonable. Vamos a descansar. Vale, no se nos ha roto nada por ahora. Y seguiremos con la exploración. Ahora sí. Vamos a meter en 4. Hemos perdido dinero. ¿Qué? Pues qué mal. No tenemos temporizador ahora mismo. No hay temporizador, así que no hay prisa. Vamos a bajarnos el estrés. Voy a intentarlo. Y exploraremos una vez más. Y pasamos el día. Vale, unos dados. Creo que hoy ya descubriremos algo. Y uno más. Haremos que sea un 5 para asegurarnos. Vamos a ver qué encontramos. The markets of Chasm Row have become familiar in the past cycles. Their steaming orange-lit depths, the persistent condensation of each unit's windows, the glam of the Amber's workers' suits, each contributing to the particular atmosphere of this buried city. But among this, you have noticed other details too. The freelance crews on the hunt for illicit tech, the conversing workers who drop to a whisper when you pass, the light flickering up through floor grates, suggesting even deeper layers. These are all the details you have followed to the Rhyme Market, a place discussed in hushed tones in dimly lit rooms. And as you drift towards what you know to be one of its entrances, the door busts open in front of you. A large, dark bundle glides out of the door and impacts the metal wall of the passage with an echoing bang. But your eyes are drawn by the imposing figure that hovers in the doorway, bracing himself on the frame. Stay out of the Rhyme Market, rat! The man sends an orb of spit spinning after the bundle. The bundle unfolds, and you suddenly recognize Serafin, winded, but striding up to go back for more. Fuck. Let's try to stop him. Oh, vale. You rush up in front of Serafin, and as you do, he tries to kick off from the wall, back into the fight. You block him, and he suddenly switches his angry glare at you. Stay out of this, sleeper. Stop this. Know what you're beaten, rat, the man calls out. It's time to go home and lick your wounds. Serafin exhales in frustration, his anger fading, replaced by the stinging pain of his injuries. You watch a perfectly round blob of blood form at the bottom of his nose. No. Want to explain what's happening? For the record, the man folds his arms. This one started it. He looks between the two of you, snooping around or meeting like a rat. You see his sharp eyes recalculating the situation since your arrival. I wasn't snooping. I'm looking for someone. Serafin glares. If you had taken a minute to talk to me before throwing a punch, maybe you would have got that. The man scratches at his beard, squinting at Serafin. Say I believe you. What were you doing at a meeting then? Missing a person ain't our business. All I heard is this is where the lot of contractors meet. I don't like you hearing that, not at all. And I'm going to need to ask you who told you that later. He straightens up. But yeah, this is where the contractors meet. As if that's anything to you. The person I'm looking for is a contractor. Serafin's frustration rises again. She uses the cover name Lewis. He pauses, a desperation entering his voice. Please, I think she might be my sister. Something changes in the man's stance. He holds up a massive hand to silence Serafin and looks down the passage in both directions. Not here. He retreats through the door. Get in. As you both enter, he reaches past you and slams the metal door behind, spinning the locking wheel with one hand. I'm Kirk, he grunts, pointing at himself with a thick thumb. Contractors are my concern, but if Logic catch us discussing contracts out there, he shakes his head. He turns and leads you down the passage. You pass an open door, and you glance inside to see a group gathered in a circle, all of them in workers' clothes. They are speaking in hushed voices. One of them exchanges a nod with Kirk. Let's not interrupt the meeting anymore, shall we? He glares playfully at Serafin, who remains silent. Kirk leads you to the side of a massive vertical metal pipe with a rock hole cut in the side. He beckons you both inside. You descend through the pipe in silence and darkness. Suddenly, you come out through the ceiling of a wide and low hall. As far as you can see, crude stalls and makeshift shelters dot the ground floor, lit by scavenged lanterns and light strips. Steam drips up through the grates, concealing the room so that you cannot see the walls. Welcome to Ram Market. Kirk gestures a thick hand at the ramshackle interior. Logic don't know about this place. He smiles. Let's get a drink. He leads you off to a nearby stall with a set of improvised stools welded to the floor in front. He hooks his legs into one, and you and Serafin follow suit. He holds up 3 fingers to the stall's owner, and a drink in a straw beer's packet is handed to each of you. Serafin looks skeptically at the drink. We're friends now or something? Look. Kirk takes a sip. I'm not going to apologize for putting you on your arse. That's on you. But like I said, I represent the contractors. And if someone is part of the family, well, he shrugs his massive shoulders. Then they deserve to be heard out at least. You know who we're looking for? Lewis, he said? I know Lewis, sure. Describe her. Kirk leans back on his stool. I'm not giving you anything more until you prove she's your sister. Serafin closes his eyes. Dark hair, used to wear it long and messy. Bright eyes, broad shoulders. Bright eyes, broad shoulders. You see a little twitch around his eyes as he recalls. Tough, but kind. Tattoos. Nervous laugh. He opens his eyes and glares at Kirk. That enough? Kirk sniffs. Yeah, that's her. You feel something jump in Serafin, an almost imperceptible tension rising. It's her. His sister. Luz. Kirk speaks slowly, drinking between, or whatever her real name is one of the contractors here. She's part of the most recent contracts Logic registered. That means, just tell me where she is, Serafin demands, his impatience getting the better of him. As I was saying, Kirk gives Serafin a pointed look. Those new contractors are restricted to the pithead. In fact, that is what we were discussing when you interrupted our meeting. Serafin looks away in frustration, but holds his tongue. Since the war, the Logic Syndicate has been trying to lock down Wellspring. They went from loose association of mining groups to an autocracy and started enforcing contracts with some serious overreaching terms. Your sister is on one of those contracts. Logic are acting like they own her. And the others, because according to their contracts, they do. Which is exactly what we want to do something about. This cycle, he forcefully taps at the bar with a finger. We're voting on strike action and a full blockade of float sand. We will bring the syndicate to the table. Serafin knocks his drink away and kicks off from the table, disappearing into the market. This guy is gonna make a mess. I'm gonna stay with Kirk. I'm interested. Kirk watches Serafin go with a disappointed look in his eye. Your friend will go to the Logic Syndicate, I know it. He sips from his drink. They won't help him there. Her bright eyes meet yours. The syndicate will do nothing for him or for you. Trust me. I want to help you, Sleeper. I want to help your friend. But I need your help in return. Yeah, man. ¿Queréis entrar a una huelga? Pues claro, yo os ayudo. Good. Kirk nods. I know you would. Es que, a ver, contratos que implican que tienes propiedad de alguien, sí. Soy un sleeper. Yo sé de qué va esa mierda. Me ha pasado y me he escapado, pero estoy jodidísimo por ello. Vivo en un contenedor metálico de cuerpo que se está rompiendo todo el rato. A causa de ello, sí. Luchemos. Kirk places a plastic card into your hand. It glints with the mark of the Lotted Syndicate, a blurry ID photo laminated into a transparent interior. This will get you into the pithead. You can see for yourself what's happening there. Ah, mira que majo. Don't follow your friend to Lottic. Go to the pithead. Find Luz yourself. He meets your eye. When you do, come back to me, and we can discuss how to free her and everyone else like her. Pues honestamente, sí, creo que sí. If you go to Lottic, if you meet with them, I can't help you. No, yo tranquilo, no voy a hacer tratos con esa gente. He releases your forearm and dreams back into the crowd, disappearing into the steam and darkness. You catch up with Serafin in the bustle of the Rhyme Market, among the steaming crowds. It can't have been the only one who saw his pitch coming a mile off. Serafin is bristling with anger. What kind of idiots does he think we are? ¿Por qué? A ver, sí, nos quiere para hacer trabajo sucio, claro. Pero la causa es correcta. Is that what this is about? This is about getting my sister out of whatever mess she's gotten into. Serafin starts to push through the crowd towards the exit zone. We need to speak to Lottic. Forget these clowns. He shoves his way forward. We don't need to get tied up in this. We just need to get her out. Pues no. Me temo que no, Rey. Nos estamos metiendo ya, pero de ya, en todo esto de cabeza. Serafin forges on ahead, and you get caught in the crowd behind him. As it disappears from you, you curse his impatience. You float there for a moment, buffeted by the passing people, clutching onto the Lottic pass, trying to decide what to do next. Pues yo ya lo sé, yo tengo el pase, así que voy para arriba. Pero... a ver, ¿qué tenemos por aquí? ¡Wow! ¡Qué maravilla! ¡Oh, qué maravilla! Carísimo, carísimo. Pero... ¡oh! Me puedo reparar los estados... bueno... aunque el glitch realmente no... tanto importa el glitch. A ver, un poco. Es un poco rollo. Y son, en realidad... Un momento. Son 22 por 1 cuando tengo que comprar 2. O 50 por... Claro que sí. Me sale súper a cuenta. Y no tengo timer. Buah. Increíble, maravilloso. Ok. Aquí nos rompemos y nos regregamos tranquilamente. Me voy a gastar todo mi sueldo en eso. Quiero entrar ya. ¿Me vale la pena? Yo creo que no. Vamos a trabajar, vamos a ahorrar. No sé si tendremos la capacidad de ahorrar realmente, pero... vale. Aquí vendían comida, ¿puede ser? Sí, 18. Slow cooked tomato and pepper stews. Rico. En fin. Acabamos ciclo. Tenemos otra ronda. Y lo dicho, voy a trabajar para arreglarme los dados en cuanto se rompan. Vamos a gastar nuestro último y compraremos comida y compraremos una pieza rara. ¡Uy, qué bien! ¡Qué maravilla! A ver si no nos repita, solo puedo comprar una. Oh, vale. Me había puesto contento demasiado rápido. Vale, pues nada. Acabaremos el día y a ver qué es esto. Es que encima engage, es que fatal. No, yo aquí no me meto. Jo, qué pena.